Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, sit a while for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 6 as part of the Ottawa Senators. So wow, it's been a minute again since I've played this game. I promise I'm not dropping the game or anything. As you probably know by now, I tend to do things a little bit randomly when it comes to my gaming, and apparently my random generator is hating on this game lately for some reason. So yeah, that's what's been going on. It's not a conscious thing that I'm doing, but I also play other games, and looks like that's just how things fall sometimes. And sometimes I'm gonna do 2 videos for this game in one day, like it's happened in the past. So that's pretty much what's going on. Also, as of today, which is October 22nd, NHL 21, the EA Sports hockey game, came out last week sometime. So I did start a Be a Pro series, so if you're interested in that kind of thing, you're always welcome to go and check it on my channel. I will also have a Sens franchise that I'm gonna start. That's gonna be down the line. I am working on the rosters right now, so you know, if you're following this series here, that might be a little bit more down your alley. There's gonna be very little gameplay. It's gonna be mostly simming. I want to play a little bit. I haven't quite decided yet. Kind of trying to mix it up, but I'm gonna try to follow a little bit kind of the same format that I'm following with this series here. So keep an eye on it if that's something you think is going to be interesting for you. That's gonna be on my channel eventually. Takes a while to fix the rosters. I want for them to be 100% accurate when I start. But anyway, so sorry about all of that talking. As far as this goes, we are in 2012. We are in March. March is always a busy month. So we'll see how we perform here. Although we are one of the teams that played the most games, so maybe our March schedule is going to be slightly lighter than usual. I don't know, but I'm looking at the schedule there and I see those darn Montreal Canadiens that we're going to play 3 times in 9 days. We're going to be pretty much sick and tired of seeing those jerks' faces by the end of the month, that's for sure. So as far as the standings go, we are still atop of the Eastern Conference. We have an 8-point lead on the Flyers. The Flyers do have 3 games on us though. And with the injuries, we have Alex Pietrangelo that's hurt. He's unable to play right now, but he's only day-to-day, so he should be coming back momentarily. So that's pretty much where we are sitting. So in a couple of days, we are going to host the best team in the league, the Chicago Blackhawks. They are even better than us. So we'll see how we can do with that. Alright, so let's get this going. Alright, what do we have here? Thomas Vanek keeps fans on their feet all night with 3 goals and an assist against Anaheim. Pretty good game for Vanek. Sidney Crosby extends his point streak to 14 games with 2 goals against Dallas. Alright, so that's how our players are developing. And Strongmont yields award for Canadiens center Thomas Plekanec. Right, so Thomas Plekanec was the offensive player of the month, and Antti Niemi of Ottawa Senators, that's us, was the goalie of the month. So he's playing pretty good. I mean, Brian Elliott is better. That's something I really hope they're going to fix, but I mean, I can't complain too much. Antti Niemi's play is playing pretty good, so it is what it is. Alright, now Eugene Melnyk is going to tell me how he feels about me. Alright. So suspension is over for Tim Jackman, so he is back in the lineup for the Rangers. Blake Wheeler lights the lamp. Now Blake Wheeler is in Phoenix in my save. Hat trick against the Flames. Alright, Eugene Melnyk is very happy with my work. Last month I went 10-2, that's a very good record. And Alex Pietrangelo is starting to feel better, that's also good news. Alright, so the Blackhawks are in town. Like I said, they are the best team in the league. They even got a win since I said that last. Now they have 105 points. We're going to go ahead and take a look at their lineup. We have not played them so far this year. Oh, they are fully healthy too, so that's not going to be an easy game at all. So in net, it's Corey Crawford and Scott Clemenson. Pretty good. Duncan Keith, Ed Jovanovski, Cam Fowler, Nicholas John Marson, Brent Seabrook, and Barrett Jackman on D. Pretty good D. Not a lot of bad players there. Nigel Dawes, Evander Kane, Brendan Peary, Jim Slater, Mike Santorelli, Joe Vitale, Matt Cook, Dave Bolin, Marcus Kruger, Andrusha, Jonathan Taves, Troy Brower, Marian Osa, Patrick Kane, and Tomas Kopechki are the forwards. This is a very good team, and actually they have a pretty good chance of beating us, I would think. Now, I don't wish for that to happen, obviously, but I'm just saying it might happen. Alright, so, well, go Sens go. The Blackhawks are going to send Corey Crawford in net. We're going to go with Brian Elliott for that one. Alright. Antiniemi just won goaltender of the month, and we're sending the backup against the best team in the league. That's a strategy, I guess. Alright, go Sens go! Oh, what a game. We lost 1-0. Two really strong teams face each other, and it ends in a 1-0 game. Alright, so Chicago outshot us 25-18. What the heck is going on? Barely any shots on goals between two high-powered offenses. That's crazy. So Barrett Jackman was the first star of the game. He had an assist. Eric Carlson was the second star. He didn't get any point though. And Troy Brower was the third star with a goal. We had 19,640 people in attendance to watch that summit game, I guess. The top two teams in each conferences facing each other. And the only goal of the game was scored in the first period by Troy Brower, and that was it. Now, there's been a fight in the first period between Zdeno Chara and Andrusha, and that's it. Not a whole lot more to talk about. So I was kind of expecting that we might lose, but to me, this is a weird game. I was expecting more goals and more shots for sure. Alright, coach reports on new players, that's fine. Scouting reports, that's fine. Alright, and we are going for a short trip in Florida here that starts tomorrow against the Panthers. Alright, so Brendan Segal is available on waivers. I'm not going to pick him up. JP Dumont has reached 1,000 games in his career very quietly. JP Dumont was a decent player, but we haven't really heard much about him in his career. But anyway, so he played his 1,000th game against Boston, didn't get a point, and he's 33, one-star player. Sidney Crosby extends his point streak to 15 games with an assist against Colorado. Alright, Pietrangelo feeling better and better. We might see him soon. Alright, now we are in Florida to face the Panthers. So the Panthers are 37-23-4, which is good for 6th in the East. However, we are 3-0 against the Panthers this season. We have not lost against them, so let's see if we can make it a 4-0 thing. So back to Antiniemi in net. Mike McKenna is going to be in net for the Panthers. Mike McKenna, who played briefly for the Sens a couple seasons ago. Alright. And we won 2-1. Alright. We outshot the Panthers 34-15. Chris Kelly was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Gregory Campbell was the second star with a goal. And Patrick Eves, third star with an assist. So Chris Kelly opened up the scoring in the first period. That was his 10th from Eric Carlson. Then in the second period, Florida tied the game. It was tied at 1. And then finally in the third period, Chris Kelly scored again from Patrick Eves. It was 2-1, and that's how the game ended. So, still, yet again, not a whole lot to talk about. There were like 3 penalties taken all game. Getting really weird results here to start the month. Oh, sorry, I misread. Nate Gannon, not Bill Guerin. Nate Gannon was suspended with Minnesota. He's going to be suspended for 3 games. Nicholas Backstrom extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal and an assist against Philadelphia. And Pietrangelo should be back now and fully healthy. Alright, so we have a day off here. Players are going to go to the beach, I'm sure. Alright, so John Mitchell is available on waivers, and so is Brian Lee. Oh, former Ottawa Senator Brian Lee. Oh, he played in the NHL some. Scored a goal even. Alright, Sidney Crosby extends his point streak to 16 games with a goal against Phoenix. Alright, and we are now in Tampa Bay, so it's a little bit tougher for Tampa Bay than it is for Florida. They are 24, 37, and 4. That's good for 11th in the East. We are 3-0 against Tampa Bay as well this season. Let's see if we can make it 4-0 as well, like we did against the Panthers. So Brian Elliott back in net for that one. He's going to face Alex Old. Oh, we lost 3-1. And that's despite outshooting Tampa Bay 50-15. Vincent Lecavalier was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Pavel Datsyuk was the second star with a goal, and Alex Old was the third star with 49 saves and the W. Alright, there were a couple penalties in the first period. Then in the second period, Tampa Bay opened up the scoring, and then Pavel Datsyuk tied the game from Alex Pietrangelo and Patrice Bergeron. It was tied at 1 after 2. And then in the third period, Tampa Bay scored twice, and that was it. We lost 3-1. Not a great start to the month. We have problems scoring. Passes on point for Shea Weber. Still in Nashville, of course, in my save. 4 assists against the Kings. Taylor Hall extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist against the Sharks. Ooh, how long is he going to be out? 7 weeks. So Jonathan Toews got hurt in Chicago. A lacerated kidney. Oh, dear God. That's bad. So Jonathan Toews is out for 7 weeks, and the playoffs are coming. They need him for sure. Alex Ovechkin extends his goal streak to 5 games with 2 goals against the Hurricanes. Yeah, it always hurts when you head to the playoffs without your top center. That changes things for sure. Alright, so we have the day off today, and then we're going to play a quick two games at home. First one is going to be against the Rangers. Sidney Crosby keeps fans on their feet all night with 4 goals against Toronto. Wow. And he extended his point streak to 17 games with that. Alright, so the Rangers are in town. Rangers not doing good. They are 21, 35, and 9. That's good for 12th in the East. And as with most of the teams we've faced this month, we are 3-0 against them this season. Hopefully we can win this. We need a little bit of goal scoring here. Alright, so Al Montoya is going to be in net for the Rangers. We are going with Antiniemi. There you go. That's more like it. We won 5-1. That's what I wanted to see. Right, we outshot the Rangers 49-14. Alex Pietrangelo was the first star. He had 2 assists. Pavel Datsyuk was the second star with 2 goals, and Patrice Bergeron was the third star with 2 assists. 17,254 people in attendance for this game. So nobody scored in the first. We took a penalty, and that was it. Then at the start of the second, Braden Shen scored on the power play from Jason Spezza and Alexander Radulov. Was 1-0 Sens. Then shortly after, the Rangers tied the game, but then we scored 2 more before the end of the period. Braden Shen scored his second of the game from Drew Doughty and Zdeno Chara. Then Pavel Datsyuk scored his 25th from Patrice Bergeron and Erik Karlsson. It was 3-1 Sens after 2. And we added 2 more in the third period. Pavel Datsyuk from Alex Pietrangelo and Patrice Bergeron, and then Eric Contra from Alex Pietrangelo and Brooks Laich. 5-1. The final score today. Good game. We needed that maybe for confidence, if anything. Like Todd White, available on waivers, overpaid for Alpha star player. Taylor Hall extends his point streak to 13 games with an assist against Montreal. Great night for Ilya Kovalchuk. He had a hat-trick against the Flames. Suspension for Detroit's Ryan Caldwell. He is going to miss 3 games. Sidney Crosby extends his point streak to 18 games with an assist against the Panthers. Alright, and Buffalo is now in town. So yeah, it's pretty tough for them too. They are 23-41-4. That's good for 13th in the East. Yeah, Buffalo's been struggling for a while now, and we are 5-0 against the Sabres this season. So I see no reason why we can't beat them again. So we'll see if we do. Ben Scrivens is going to be in net for Buffalo. We're going back to Ansiniemi. And we won 4-1. Alright. We outshot the Sabres 41-10. Eric Condra was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Joe Thornton was the second star with 2 assists. And Drew Doughty was the third star with an assist. 17,464 people in attendance for that game. In the first period, Eric Condra opened up the scoring. That was his 15th and a power play goal from Chris Kelly and Erik Karlsson. Then Braden Shen scored his 10th from Drew Doughty and Alexander Radulov. It was 2-0 Sens after 1. Then in the second period, Eric Condra scored again, really early, 6 seconds into the second period, from Brooks Laich and Joe Thornton. And then Buffalo scored a goal, so it was 3-1 Sens after 2. And then in the third period, Chris Kelly scored from Patrick Eves and Joe Thornton, and that was the final score, 4-1. Few penalties were taken, well, three apiece. Manny Malhotra has played in 1,000 games in his career. Didn't get a point. That happened against Edmonton. So, 31 years old, Manny Malhotra, 2.5 star players. So, Taylor Hall's point streak ended at 13 games. He was held scoreless in that same game against the Avalanche. Alright, so we have a little bit of a break here. We're going to play Montreal in 3 days. It's going to be in Montreal. We're going to have a home and home against them. And as we know, we've been struggling against Montreal this season. We are tired of those guys. At least I am. Evander Kane has a strong game. He had a hat-trick against the Kings. Duncan Keith has a good game in that same game. He had 4 assists. Nate Gannon is back from suspension with the Wild, back in the lineup. Sidney Crosby's point streak ended at 18 games. He was held scoreless against the Bruins. Alright, Simon Gagne has tallied 1,000 games in his career, so Simon Gagne celebrated with a goal. That was against the Devils. 32 years old, Simon Gagne, still a 2-star player. So 1,000 games for Gagne. Alright, and now in Montreal against the Canadiens. Ooh, they have caught up with us. So Montreal is 50, 16, and 4. That's just 2 points behind us. With the same amount of games played, we might lose our... we might not finish like in the top 3 at this rate. So we are 0-3 against Montreal. Couple of shutouts by them. Yeah, we need to turn that around. We need a win here. We need to create separation against them. Alright, so we lost 5-3, 2-0, and 2-0. We're going to go with Brian Elliott in the first game of the home and home. They are going with Yaroslav Halak. Couldn't beat them again. We lost 4-1, so they passed us now. I think. Maybe. We outshot them 40-22. Justin Williams was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Yaroslav Halak was the second star with 39 saves. And JT Wyman was the third star with a goal. Right, so Montreal scored first in the first period. And then they scored 3 times in the second. So it was 4-0 Abs after 2. And then Erik Karlsson scored exactly at the midway point of the third period on the power play from Joe Thornton, but it was way too late. And then near the end of the game, PK Subban and Zdeno Chara got into a fight. And that was it. Alright, Caldwell's suspension ends in Detroit. He's back in the lineup. Alright, now we need to win the next 2 games against them. We're still holding on to our spot there, but the Flyers have the same amount of points as us, and they have 2 games on. Our season series against Montreal is starting to kill us. Nicholas Wallin, available on waivers, not picking him up. Alright, so now Montreal is in town, and we are going to be facing them. Montreal now 51, 16, and 4, and they are still 4th in the East, tied with us. We have more wins, so I guess we're at the top of the division. Yeah, we need a win here. They're sending Yaroslav Halak again. We're going with Brian Elliott again for some reason. Lindy Ruff doesn't seem to know what he wants. Alright. Okay, we won that one 6-3. Finally a win against Montreal. Maybe that's why my random generator doesn't want me to play this game anymore, because I can't beat Montreal, so it's trying to preserve my sanity or something. Alright, so we outshot Montreal 37-32 in that game. Jason Spezza, finally we're seeing his name somewhere. He hasn't done anything this month. So Spezza, first star, 2 goals and 2 assists. Pavel Datsyuk, the second star with 2 assists. And Erik Karlsson, the third star with 2 assists as well. 18,634 people in attendance for this game. Montreal scored first in the first period. Then Jason Spezza replied from Erik Karlsson and Pavel Datsyuk. It was tied at 1 after 1. Then in the second period, Brooks scored from Erik Karlsson and Eric Condor. It was 2-1. And then Montreal tied the game. It was tied at 2. And then we scored twice. So Joe Thornton scored his 25th on the power play from Jason Spezza and Braden Shen. And then Jason Spezza scored his 35th from Pavel Datsyuk. And it was 4-2 Sens after 2. Then in the third period, Braden Shen scored on the power play from Jason Spezza and Joe Thornton. Then Montreal scored, made it 5-3 Sens, but then Braden Shen sealed the deal in an empty net from Joni Pitkanen, 6-3 the final score. Alexander Radulov converts to right wing. Seems like he's kind of bouncing around a little, which I don't mind. I don't mind versatile players. I don't mind versatile players up to a certain point. So there's a couple versions of the game ago. I think it was in Franchise Hockey Manager 4. I ran a super long sim from 1917 to 2040. I ran it overnight while I was sleeping because it takes a while. And I went to look at some stats, and a lot of players, but a lot of Sens players, of course, and there were quite a few defensemen that turned forwards during that sim. One of them was Ray Bourque. Ray Bourque played most of his career in that sim as a right winger. I haven't seen that in last year's game or this year's, but that was really weird. Another one was Chris Phillips. Chris Phillips played as a forward all of his career in that sim, and that was really bizarre. Now, Chris Phillips, I could maybe understand why, because the first couple games that he played for the Sens were as a left winger, and he didn't like it. And then he was sent down or something. That was many years ago. I don't remember all of the little nuances, but that sounds about right. But anyway, alright, so Toronto is now going to be in town tomorrow. Alright, so Brett Skinner available, not picking him up. Alright, can we beat the Leafs? So Toronto is doing alright. They're hanging on to the 8th spot right now. They are 36, 32, and 3. So that's good for 8. In the East, we are 3-2 against Toronto this season. So it's another team that gave us a problem or two. So James Reimer is going to be in net for Toronto. Antiniemi gets the net back, and let's see here. And it's another win for us. We won 3-1. Alright, so we're getting points. That's what's important. So we outshot the Leafs 34-25 in that one. Joe Thornton was the first star. He had a goal and an assist. Nikolai Kudeman was the second star with a goal. And Brooks Laich was the third star with an assist. 17,167 people in attendance for this game. Right, so we scored all of our goals in the first period. So Joe Thornton started that from Brooks Laich, and then Patrick Eaves from Joe Thornton, and then Jason Spezza on the power play from Drew Doughty. It was 3-0 Sens after 1. Then in the second period, Toronto scored their goal. It was 3-1 at that point. That's how it ended. Nobody else scored. No fights, just some penalties trickled through the game. And Pietrangelo is hurt yet again. You are a man made of crystal, sir. Out for 11 days with a tender elbow. Yeah, I think I'm going to put you on injured reserve and call somebody up. Now, let's see who that's going to be. Alright, so we have Lucas Bisa. Yeah, I do have Ryan Whitney down there. Doesn't make sense to leave him down there. Yeah, you're getting recalled. There you go, buddy. Alright. And we are going to host the Devils here in a few days. Mike Knuble and David Tanabe are both on waivers. Denius Zubros has tallied 1,000 games played in his career. Alright, so that happened against the Flyers. So no points for Zubros in that game. 33 years old, Denius Zubros, one-star player. Raphael Jordan in Montreal is not getting suspended. Patrick Dwyer will miss 5 months. Oh, that's going to hurt the Sharks. So Patrick Dwyer is hurt with a broken kneecap. Ouch. So, yeah. No playoffs for you if the Sharks make it. I don't think they will. Not with that record. Francis Bouillon has reached 1,000 games played in his career. Didn't get a point. That happened against St. Louis. 36 years old, Francis Bouillon, 1-star player. Alright, and Ryan Whitney needs a number. And he wants number 6. There you go, you can have it. Nobody has it right now. Alright. Scott Hartnell lights the lamp with a hat-trick against the Ducks. Pretty good game. Pretty good player. 3.5-star player. Wouldn't mind having him on the team. Ryan Smith has competed in 1,250 games. Didn't get a point. That happened against Phoenix. 36 years old. Ryan Smith still a star and a half. Oh, Henrik Sedin has also competed in 1,000 games. Lots of milestones for games played this month. Celebrated that with a goal that happened against the Wild. So, Henrik Sedin, 31 years old, 3.5-star player. Alright, and we are hosting the Devils. It's pretty tough in New Jersey. They are 24, 45, and 4. That's good for 14th in the East. We are 2-0 against the Devils this season. Alright, and Ray Emery. Oh, hey. Razor is going to be in net for the Devils. We are going with Brian Elliott. And we won 42. We outshot the Devils 52-19. Drew Doughty was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Zach Parise for New Jersey was the second star with 2 goals. And Ryan Whitney celebrated his return to the NHL lineup by being the 3rd star with 2 assists. 16,715 people in attendance for this game. So 13 seconds into the first period, Drew Doughty scored his 10th on the power play from Jason Spezza and Joe Thornton. Then the Devils tied the game. And finally, Petrus Bergeron scored his 20th from Brooks Laich and Ryan Whitney. It was 2-1 Sens after 1. Then in the second period, Drew Doughty scored... excuse me, from Nikita Filatov and Ryan Whitney. It was 3-1 Sens after 2. And at the start of the third period, the Devils came back to within 1. It was 3-2, but Pavel Datsyuk scored near the end of the game from Drew Doughty and Jason Spezza. Made it 4-2 Sens, and that's how this game ended. Alright, Duncan Keith is suspended with Chicago. He's going to miss 6 games. And no one could stop Alex Tanguay. He had a hat-trick against the Flames. Alright, and we are going to be playing our last regular season game against Montreal here in a couple days. That's going to be in Montreal. Jochen Echt and Daniel Carcillo are available on the waivers. No further discipline for Carolina's Jeremy Welsh, so still in the lineup. And Warren Peters with the Rangers is suspended. He's going to miss 7 games. Alright, one more day off. David Clarkson is on waivers, and so is Marty Turco. Henrik Sedin has achieved 500 assists in his career. That happened against Dallas. Got 1 assist. 31 years old. We just saw him. 31 years old, 3-star and a half. Still, that didn't change in the last couple days. Alright, so again, we're going to be in Montreal today, and then we're going back home tomorrow to face Pittsburgh. So we're playing 2 good teams in 2 days. Alright, so in Montreal, they are now 52-18-4. They are 4th in the East, and yeah, we're 1-4 against them. We can't even play for 500 against the Habs this season. They have won the season series. We're going to Antiniemi. They are going to Yaroslav Halak. And we won 2-1 in overtime. Wow. Hey, we'll take it. So we outshot Montreal 33-24. Braden Chen, first off this game with a goal and an assist. François Beauchemin was the 2nd star with a goal, and Jason Spezza was the 3rd star with a goal and an assist. So in the first period, Jason Spezza opened up the scoring on the power play from Braden Chen, and it was 1-0 Sens at that point. There were quite a few penalties in that game, in that period. Then in the second period, Montreal tied the game. Then quite a few penalties in the second as well. Then we took a couple penalties in the third. And then in overtime, Braden Chen played the hero with a power play goal from Jason Spezza, while Louis Eriksson was in the box. And we won that 2-1. So we did concede a point to Montreal, so that kind of sucks for that. But it is, you know, at least we got the win. Sergei Mozyakin lights the lamp against Carolina. He had 3 goals and an assist. Pretty good game. Alright, and Pittsburgh is now in town. They are 50-21-2. That's good for 5th in the East. We are 2-1 against Pittsburgh this season. Hopefully we beat them again. We can't really lose any games if we want to finish atop the standings. So Marc-Andre Fleury is going to be in net for Pittsburgh. We are going with Brian Elliott. And we won 2-0. Wow. We were able to keep Sidney Crosby and Jaromir Jagr from getting points. That's pretty impressive. So Marc-Andre Fleury was the first star of the game despite the loss. He made 42 saves. Brooks Orpik was the 2nd star without any point, and Nikita Filatov was the 3rd star with an assist. We outshot Pittsburgh 44-22. I don't think I mentioned that. 19,371 people in attendance for this game. Alright, nobody scored in the first. Then in the second period, Eric Carlson scored on the power play from Chris Kelly and Nikita Filatov, and then Braden Chen from Patrick Eves and Brooks Like. It was 2-0 Sens at that point, and nobody scored again. So Braden Chen is scoring a few goals this month. I like it. I like when young players start to develop and putting up points. That's also true in real life. I'm always a big believer in any youngster that comes up, even though, you know, most of them sometimes don't amount to much of anything, but some of them will end up playing pretty well. So always like that, always a fan. Patrick Eliash has a memorable game with the Wild. He had 4 goals against Buffalo. Pretty good game. Mike Yeo might lose his job in Carolina. As we know, they are terrible. They are 15-55-6. So he might not be the coach much longer over there. Alright, and we are about to play in Winnipeg against the Jets. Alright, and we are in Winnipeg. Now the Jets are 35-31-9, so that's an okay season. We are 2-1 against the Jets this season. Final game of the season against them. Right, so Brian Elliott in net for us and Kari Lehtonen in net for the Jets. Ooh, we lost 1-0 in overtime. Crazy. It was in the shootout, so there's no stats to read. No goal, nothing. We outshot the Jets 34-11. Kari Lehtonen was the first of the game. He had 34 saves and a shutout. Andre Meszaros was the second star of the game with no points, obviously, and Dan Boyle was the third star with no point as well. Alright, no fights to talk about, just regular penalties. And then, wow, so Marcus Naslund and Ilya Kovalchuk both scored on the shootout. We didn't, and that's how it ended. There you go. That was fast. A strong night for Danny Eatley. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Flames. Now we have quite a few days off here before our last game of the month, which is going to be in Philly against the Flyers. So we have 4 days off. Oh, Laurie Korpikoski with the Rangers is hurt. He's going to miss torn hip labrum. We don't say for how long, but that's, that's going to be a long one. All right. Pietrangelo starting to feel better, so he can come back and get hurt 3 games later. Excellent passing leads to products of night for Drew Miller. He had 4 assists against the Sharks. Alex Pietrangelo on the brink of returning. Alright, so Pietrangelo is ready to come back. I'm going to go ahead and check. I'm not sure that he's been on the injury list for 14 days. Oh, yes. Alright. Come back in the lineup. Alright, Ryan Whitney goes back down. Alright, so last game of the month is going to be in Philly, so the Flyers are pretty good. They are 57-16-4, which is good for first in the East. So they are even better than us by 1 point. We are 2-1 against the Flyers this season. So as we know, they have a pretty good team usually. So let's see what happens here. We have Brian Elliott in net. They have Sergei Bobrovsky. And we lost 3-0. We got shut out 2 games in a row to end the month. That's not good. It's even a little worrisome right before the playoffs. Jason Spezza is completely on neutral. Alright, so the Flyers... Oh, dear God. What happened there? We got outshot 43-16. It's like roles are reversed. I don't like it. It reminds me of when I started in, 1992 with, where I was getting outshot like that all the time. Anyway, Mike Richards was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. TJ Oshie was the second star of the game with 2 assists, and Martin St. Louis was the third star with an assist. We took a lot of penalties in the first period. Right, and then the Flyers scored twice in the second. And they scored once in the third. Yeah, that was a pretty violent game, I guess. 35-20, the penalty minutes. Alright, so didn't end the month all that great. Brandon Reed is available on waivers. I'm not going to pick him up. Steven Stamkos has a strong game for the Wild. He had 4 goals and an assist against the Kings. Memorable night for Pierre-Marc Bouchard in that same game. He had 4 assists. Alright, and Scott Hartnell and Kari Lehtonen are the players of the month this month. Right, so we didn't do all that great this month there. We had a lot of problems scoring goals. A lot of my stars are not producing. That's a worry before the playoffs. So we finished the month second in the East. We are 3 points behind the Flyers with the same amount of games played. So it's going to be tough to pass them. Montreal is 4 points behind us and they have played 1 more game. So that's looking a little bit better if we look there, and I don't think Washington cannot catch us. So we're either gonna finish first or second in the East, or maybe fourth if we really start sucking and Montreal wins their remaining 3 games. So, but in all likelihood, we're gonna finish first or second. It's also gonna depend on the Flyers. All right, so. Let's take a look in the West, see what's going on there. So Chicago's still a powerhouse, still the best team in the league. Then Minnesota, LA, Columbus, Nashville, Edmonton, St. Louis, and Detroit. And Carolina is still the worst team in the league, and it's not even close. They have 38 points. The next second worst team is the Canucks with 53 points. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look at our stats. I think I'm not gonna like what I'm seeing here. Lots of slowdowns. Alright, so Joe Thornton has 84 points in 78 games, so he's still over a point per game, but he has slowed down as well. Spezza 74 in 68, slowed down as well. Datsuk 61 in 77. Bergeron 59 in 78. Carlson 56 in 76, and then it just goes down from there. And in the entire league, we have Phil Kessel and Sergei Mozyakin as the best goal scorers in the league with 46 goals each. That's pretty cool. The best passer is Sidney Crosby with 72 assists. Joe Thornton is our best. He's 7th with 58. And then the best scorer is Crosby with 112 points. Our best is Thornton with 84. He's 12th. Alright, so we're gonna need to start playing better here. We have 4 games left in the regular season to get our shit together before the playoffs start. I mean, our record is really good, but I'm a little bit worried because we really had problems scoring goals in March. Now, granted, we've played a few pretty good teams, but you know, in the playoffs, we're going to play pretty good teams, so we need to be able to score against them. It's too late in the season. I cannot make a trade or anything to change things up. I would have to go into my farm team, and there's not a whole lot of offensive talent in there. So I think we're stuck with what we have, and we're gonna need to do better. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop here for today. So again, I apologize that it took forever to get another video for this. Random is random, so can't do much about that. I do want to thank you for tuning in though, and if you've liked the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.